The big problem that we've had since COVID days is the reselling of driving tests, where instructors and other people who have access to the online business service will bulk buy tests and sell them at a profit. Now, the online business service was only ever designed to give instructors control of the tests for their pupils and to offer just a better service. It was never meant to be abused like it has been. Now, there are measures that are being used to supposedly tackle this problem, and hopefully, I do hope that these measures will work, because it's been a problem, and I think it's been part of a wider problem in terms of test availability, and tackling this problem, if it works, would be a very, very good start. So until now, or should I say until the 31st of March, it's been possible to change a test 6 times. That's going to be reduced to 2 times, which, may stop people from, just having a go. The aim is to try and get people to book a test that they're actually ready for, that they actually do stand a chance of passing, rather than the panic. And I think if the availability was better, then that'd be less of a problem. But I mean, we've got to start somewhere to try and tackle this. The second change is on the 12th of May. That's when only learner drivers will be able to book a test. Now, that takes instructors out of the equation. We can still use the online business service to set our availability, which, okay, better than nothing. But I mean, I am slightly disappointed at that, but it's a consequence of the system being misused. And the question that we've got to ask is, will bringing in that change do anything to stop the resellers? I really don't know, and I really do hope that it does, and I hope that this makes a difference. The third change, which comes in on the 9th of June, is that when a test is booked on the email, it will say that if you do make a change and you want to change a test centre, then you can only change one that's the 3 nearby test centres. So, giving you an example of Chesterfield, what I've seen, because Chesterfield's my main test centre, you will only be able to change to Ashfield, Sheffield Answorth, or Sheffield Middlewood. Now, changing to a different test centre is not always a good thing anyway. Okay, it could be argued that if you talk to drive, you should be able to pass your test anywhere, but I think when somebody's nervous, getting them into that kind of mindset where is problematic. If they're in the comfort zone, I think just human nature means that they are more likely to pass somewhere where they're familiar. But the problem is that people have been booking a driving test miles away from anywhere, because that's all they've got available, just to give them a start on the system. So they then use cancellation apps to find a test that more near to where they actually want to do it and where they're more familiar. Okay, that actually takes a slot from the area that you've looked at, that people local to that area would use. So I get that. I get that totally. And I certainly won't travel a long way for a driving test, and I won't. I just don't think it's a good thing. But that is what is going to happen with that, and I think the difficulty is, and what people have done is they have done that just to secure a slot if they've failed a test and they don't need to wait that long, because there's nothing available in a reasonable space of time to actually use. So, I mean, waiting for a test to come available in your local area after a failed test is difficult, and that's going to cause problems for that kind of person. I mean, it's never been an ideal thing to do, but that's the thing. So these changes I really, really do hope that they make a difference. I really do. There's other things to consider, like I suppose, examiner numbers. That's an issue. Do we have sufficient examiner numbers for the demand that we've got? And is the demand driven by misguided desperation, sense of entitlement, or is that just a small part of the wider problem of the people who need to gain a driving licence? But I suppose the message from everything is clear. Take the lessons that you need, get the tuition that you need, and only go for a driving test that you're going to be ready for and stand a chance of passing. I get people coming to me saying, oh, could I just have a few lessons before my test on the, I don't know, 30th of March or something like that. And they might not even be from my local area, they might be from miles away, and I don't do it, and any decent instructor wouldn't do it. But I suppose there are some that might, or they look for ways of doing it. They might hire a car or go with a family member. But the message is clear. Only go for a test when you're ready.